Coach, the team is coming off a very physical and tough game against Army on Thursday night. There were bodies lying all over the floor, a lot of fouls, very intense game. What is your takeaway from that game foremost?
You know what? It still stings. It hurts a little bit. I know our team was prepared, and we talked about the tougher team, was going to get the victory. And I think their coaching staff at Army did some really nice adjustments at halftime, putting pressure on us. And even though the pressure, didn't really get to us in terms of getting it over half court, it just took us just a little bit out of our rhythm, and obviously letting Minato get hot in the second half was really tough for us because, like you said, you mentioned we weren't playing clean defense and we were getting out of position and sending her to the line, which was, is a guaranteed 2 points every time. So I think, for us, it's definitely motivating us for our next game. We're lucky that we get to bounce back and we don't have to sit with this for a long period of time before we get to compete and tip it up again. But I think, getting back to our basics with our defensive, scheme is going to be really important, to us. It's what's going to help us win games down the stretch.
Teams have been able to score their points this year, but I think Yale has caused a double-digit amount of turnovers in every game so far. So the defense is producing and coming through. What impresses you about the defensive effort so far, and what do you think needs some work?
You know what? I think obviously what we just talked about being, finding a way to move our feet, be clean with it, and we're bailing people out at the last second. I think our pressure defense is awesome because we're setting the tone early and we're intense and we're making it tough for opponents to really run what they're trying to run. Where we are trying to get them out of their rhythm. That seems to be working, but with that type of pressure D, you've got to work on closeouts, you got to work on help rotations, and you got to be in positions where you're really keeping the player in front of you. And when we get out of position, our first reaction is to foul instead of get picked up by a teammate on a really good rotation. So I'm impressed with the effort and the attention to detail. I just think that it's working in practice every day at getting better and more disciplined in not bailing people out and sending them to the line.
Sunday is the final home game in this 3-game homestand. It's been a busy week with 3 home games in 6 days. What do you take away from these past 2 home games, and what do you hope that the team is able to do on Sunday against Wagner to pull out a win?
You know what? I feel that this team, they deserve a home advantage, and I was happy against Army to see people come out and support them. I just believe in them so much, and they deserve the support at home. And I know that they want to protect that court. They're passionate about it. That's partially why this last one stings for us, our first loss at home. But I think it shows, the toughness of our kids. I think the way that they have bounced back, and it's not just a 3-game stretch we're talking about. Obviously, Wagner is coming up Sunday, but I feel like we've been on the road. Once we came back from North Carolina, played West Virginia on that Sunday, and been going strong ever since, really with 1 day of preparation for each opponent. So I think it shows their intensity about wanting to compete and take a scout, from 1 day into live action, and they're doing a tremendous job with that. I'm excited for them to get to showcase their talents one more time at home before we have to go on the road and face a tough St. John's.